we're waiting for something. It says we're live now. Okay, everyone. I am here with Val Spirindov. He is a computer scientist, CEO of Cleverchair, and he has volunteered to be the first person to undergo a new type of transplant that has never been done before in human history. So he is active in changing the world through science and technological advances. Val?
Yeah, hello people. Hi, I'm from Russia. It's kind of late here, so as you can see, I'm in the dark. But I believe it will not bother us, and we can enjoy our speaking.
Yes, even through the darkness.
Absolutely.
Okay. Sorry, I'm really stressed out lately, and I feel like I'm forgetting what I'm going to say a lot. So basically, a lot of people are probably wondering why the heck I, an astrologer, have a computer scientist on my YouTube channel and what business I have talking to this person. And trust me, I was quite nervous about it because I know a lot of people who are into science and stuff, they don't believe in astrology. So I was worried I was going to be discredited right away, but I quickly saw that, he's a very open-minded person, and, that shows through in his chart a little bit as well, because he has his Mercury conjunct Pluto, and he's curious and he wants to figure things out and, see the world in different perspectives and find like the truth about things and possibilities that other people perhaps have overlooked. So that's one of the really interesting things about Val.
Thank you.
All right, so basically what we want to know is why exactly he has decided that getting a full body transplant is the best option for, how he can live his life in the most productive way. So Val, could you describe your condition a little bit?
Okay, there are kinds of diseases where human body is very sick. It cannot move legs, cannot move arms. I cannot lift heavy objects. Cannot walk. Even mostly cannot take care of myself. So this all is because of weak muscles, and because of this, the skeleton and the spine bends, and it is hard to breathe even, because all the body is deformed. And of course, there is the only option to stop this by changing the entire body with new muscles, with new organs, new spine. So that's why I decided to take part in this scientific breakthrough and to help the Italian surgeon in his way to perform this, because I totally understand that most people will doubt about the success of this surgery, will doubt about the effectiveness of this, and of course there will be lots of arguing about the ethical side of this question. So I try to explain that this is not this doesn't differ as much from regular organ transplant surgeries.
Yeah, I think the idea is so scary to people, and it's, to me, also kind of ironic because we used to cut people's heads off as a punishment. And
yes. Yeah.
So I think that's part of the reason why we have it in our heads that this is barbaric, but really it's something that can be used on a practical level to improve people's lives. And also I feel there's a lot we're going to learn from this, and it'll be crazy to see how far we've come. One of the things
it will be fun because during the studies we'll invent new materials, new ways of treatment of other diseases, and of course we can with this technology we will be able to heal paralyzed people with traumatized backs and spines. So this is not about one single surgery for me. This is the entire new technology to save lives. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. I saw, the way I found out about this was on Facebook. There was a video going on about how there was going to be like a human head transplant, and it was
Yeah.
just like this, all this simulated stuff, and it's like, we're going to put a head on a new body, and you know, it's great for advertisement and everything.
Yeah.
But I believe it said that the procedure was going to be done in December. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
It's going to be done in December of this year.
December of this year.
Okay.
2017.
All right.
Some kind of Christmas present, you know. Yeah.
That would be some Christmas present. I mean, nothing better you could ask for, really.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so is there any urgency to be able to do this soon?
Well, let me explain. Of course, my condition doesn't get better, and life is pretty much limited in this condition because there are lots of stuff which are hard for me to do, and I have to hire people to help me every day. And but anyway, my muscles continue to weaken, and heart is also a muscle, as you know. So maybe someday it will stop. So we've decided that the sooner the better. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm worried about being too grim here, but I also, in my research, I read that people who have spinal muscular atrophy don't normally live to be as long as you already have.
Yeah. Yeah. It's mostly about 18 to 25 years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what made you decide that this was the right option? Is there any other options that you looked into before agreeing to this?
Actually, there are no other options. There is only one way to make life a little bit easier in this condition is to install a metallic spinal cord, which will support the whole skeleton. But it doesn't change things dramatically, so it doesn't let muscles get stronger. So it just helps to sit better, to move in transport, to breathe easily. But there is no radical treatment about this disease yet.
Okay. So what is it? What is it like having your condition? Is there anything about it that has really been emotionally difficult for you aside from the obvious physical obstacles?
It's both because emotionally it's kind of depressing when you cannot do the things which ordinary normal people can, like jumping in a plane and moving to a new location whenever you want, and even going to bathroom is pretty much hard because someone has to help you every day. So it's difficult both physically and emotionally to have this kind of condition.
Yeah, I bet I would have so many issues with that. I would probably have to start being a more tolerable person to be around, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I think people would get sick of me, but I think as a Libra, you're probably better at, keeping the peace with everyone and stuff. All right. So was there ever a time when you felt really discouraged about your life, and have you ever wanted to give up or anything like that?
Um, my parents they taught me never to give up because it will lead me to death. Absolutely, because if you do not struggle, if you do not learn something new, if you do not work in this condition, staying in this condition makes you depressed and upset, and some suicidal thoughts about this. But when you are busy with something, busy with research, busy with a job, it makes life easier because it gives you new opportunities, new possibilities. And today with technologies like internet, computers, you can do lots of stuff, really.
Yeah. And I think it's really cool that, you know, you saw this was the one road you could take to have a more full life and be able to continue your life and continue your success and everything that you have built so far, and, you know, keep discovering more about the world. And this is something that for so many people would be so scary. I mean, honestly, I have been considered a pretty brave person. I have a lot of people say that about me because I've done some more minor things in my life than this. But I think if it came to this point for me where I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep living my life unless I undergo this major procedure and get a completely new body, I think I would be in tears. And it seems like such a difficult thing to face. And I admire your strength so much for
Thank you.
being able
Thank
to
you.
do that. And, you know, prioritizing your mind and your learning and being able to improve the lives of other people, like both through your business that you have started and creating these wheelchairs, and also willing to be the first person to undergo a procedure that we consider to be quite risky.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
So I want to know what inspired you to get into computer science.
When I was a kid, I loved scientific and science fiction literature a lot. So I read lots of books about, you know, Star Wars and all this stuff, and I imagined myself doing some crazy stuff. But when I grew up, I understood that the technologies are limited yet, and I have to decide what am I able to do in my condition. So I thought that computers are attractive to me because in any condition I can control them. I can control software. I can create software. I can create interesting stuff, and this could become my job, and it did. So quickly, maybe at the age of 18, I graduated the university and started my career as an software engineer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love that you were able to see that that was the right route for you, and you knew that that was how you were able to improve the world.
Yeah.
Because I think so many of us, you know, we find one obstacle that we have in life and we get stuck on it and we don't see any way around it, and we're not willing to look at our other options, and then we basically close all the doors for ourselves and we're not able to succeed from there.
Even not life-changing obstacles are sometimes hard to accept. I totally understand this because I face them also. I face them in a relationship, I face them in business, and of course, when you get trained yourself, you can spend less and less time to solve this kind of problems because when you do not face these obstacles, you just get depressed and you get your life down, and this is not the way I want to move on.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like you really just said no to all the obstacles that are standing in your way, and you said that
Absolutely.
you're not, yeah, you're not going to let it stop you, you know, no matter how hard you have to push through what you are
Absolutely.
facing.
I'm already living longer than when I had to, because as you mentioned, people with my diagnosis live pretty short lives, and as I stayed for a longer period, I believe that I'm here for goodwill, and I'm here for something big. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think one of the blessings of your condition is, I mean, even though you aren't able to do all the physical stuff, even the normal stuff that you would like to be able to do, it gave you something to focus on, and it really allowed you to value your intellect and what you can do with your mind.
The possibilities in this field are endless because all the knowledge of humanity you have in the internet. It's basically free. You can contact anybody. You can learn anything, and there are no limits in this kind of field.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And I feel that it'll also be a blessing once you have, you know, your new body that you can use and everything. I think you'll value that so much more than most people do, because you were kind of given one at a time. I mean, you were given your mind, and now in December for Christmas, you're about to be given a body that you can fully use once you're recovered.
Yeah, exactly. We hope to get the full control of your body, but I totally understand that the control can be limited because the technology is still imperfect. But we believe that we will learn a lot from the surgery, and the continuous studies, the continuous surgeries, and the next surgeries will be much, much better, less expensive, less dangerous. So we're trying to make this all as safe as possible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what is the first thing you want to do once you're recovered from your surgery?
I want to grab some sports bike and drive, hit the road. Yeah.
That sounds fun. I've only done that.
This is the stuff which I cannot allow myself today. Yeah.
It's what?
I cannot do this today. I cannot ride a bike, for example. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be really exciting. I remember when we talked earlier, I suggested, since I do martial arts, I suggested you wait a while before you try that, because I think once you get a new head, you don't want someone punching, or once you get a new body, you don't want someone punching your head right away.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think that would be pleasant.
Not the first day of your life. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I also wanted to ask, you know, before you were able to start your company, and like when you were just still planning about like what you were going to do in life, was there ever a time when you doubted yourself?
I doubt myself every day, but it doesn't last long. It lasts about a couple of minutes till I switch to a new task or have a call from my colleagues. But of course, it's normal to be doubting in yourself, and it's normal to think about the problems you have. But the only thing you are left is to solve it, because when you do, you get so much fun, and you get so much new wonderful opportunities, and it's worth it, really.
Okay. Well, was that what has inspired you to keep going?
My girlfriend does. My job inspires me, and of course, all the people who support me, they inspire me a lot.
What do you feel like has allowed you to create the success in your life?
You know, it's a simple thing. You got to be able to do one thing at a time, not fast, but in a continuous way. Not dropping it, not leaving it alone, but getting things done. You know. And when you do, it's okay. It's much easier to achieve higher goals.
Yeah. And how do you feel about the obstacles you face now versus how you felt about them when you were younger?
I believe that my level of obstacles is growing with me, but I enjoy this every day, and I enjoy this as a challenge. So It's okay with me, and uh, I try to tell people about my life. I try to write articles, and I post them on my Facebook page, so everybody can um, visit it and follow my story. Also, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I appreciate that you're taking the time to do that. All right, so I want to ask, do you feel that there are any unexpected blessings of having muscular atrophy?
Unexpected blessings. Yes, absolutely. Because um, uh, when you are bound to a wheelchair, you cannot spend lots of time in the nightclubs, in some destroying places, but you can have more time to do some positive stuff like research, creation, jobs, and talking to people, for example. So, of course, there are lots of blessings which you can accept and use every day. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like you were able to use what you've been given in life in such a positive way.
absolutely. Yeah.
And in your chart, I see that you have Mars and Capricorn, which makes you very hardworking. And a lot of times, people with Mars and Capricorn will make things unnecessarily difficult for themselves. But you also have your Mars conjunct Jupiter. So I'm really seeing that, that willingness to work hard is really amplified in you, and you're able to be so productive and also be able to see things in a more positive way rather than just getting caught up on the obstacles like some people would.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a nice chart I have there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you also have your Mercury and your Venus in Scorpio, and Sun in Libra, Moon in Leo. And people with Moon in Leo are, very, very kind-hearted, light-hearted, pleasant to be around. But also they tend to be a little bit bossy, which I take it that's what gave you the push to become a CEO.
Wow. Wow. Inspiring stuff. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Well, Val, I'm so glad that you took the time to talk to me on my channel, and that you're sharing your story with everyone. I think it's really inspirational. And, I think all of us get caught up in our everyday obstacles, and we can get so discouraged about things, even if they're just little things. And sometimes the littlest things are the things that we imagine to be the biggest things. And so what we have an example of right now is something that actually is a big thing, but Val, I feel like you are handling it with such grace.
Why do you think so?
Well, honestly, I feel like you made it look like it's easy. I mean, you still took the time to work on everything you cared about and accomplish everything you've wanted to accomplish so far, and you're not accepting any type of limit. You're already past the point at which you were expected to live based on your condition. And even further than that, even that now that you're past that point, you want to go on to live a normal life, and you recognize that you need science on your side. And maybe not all the people around you were ready for this type of advancement like you are, but now that you've found the right people who can help you take this next step, you are completely willing to do it. And you seem like you are just breezing through it so easily. I mean, I look at you, and you don't look like you're scared. You look like you're at peace, and you're ready to take this next step and improve your life even more.
You totally read my mind. Thank you so much. I hope it will be done like you say. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Val, I wish you the best. And I personally, I'm so excited for this procedure because I've worked in the medical field just a little bit, and I've seen some things that I thought were amazing being done, but of course nothing at this level because it hasn't even been performed yet. And I think we're going to discover some interesting things. One of the things I want to know about is muscle memory and like the memories that aren't just in our brain, but in the rest of our bodies, because I know that's kind of been a theory going on.
Well, if it happens for me to have the surgery, I will tell about my muscle memories and all the stuff to you and to your
I mean,
subscribers.
part of what I'm thinking about here is like if you watch people who box and do MMA, I mean, they get bashed in the head so much, and brain damage is pretty much commonplace in the sport. But if they're getting their memories knocked out of their heads and everything like that, then how are they still able to remember how to fight?
Yeah, exactly. So I hope see you after the surgery and we will discuss this further.
Yes, I would love to do a follow-up interview.
No problem, no problem. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
Val, thanks again for coming on. You have a fantastic night, okay?
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.